I want to talk about Boeing, and Governor Inslee, we are going to start with you on this question. You have said that Boeing threatened you, mugged you, to get the largest tax break for a corporation in Washington state history. You personally called for a special session years ago to get $8.7 billion in tax incentives in exchange for the production of the 77X line. But now Boeing, as you know, is moving the entire 787 production line from Everett to North Charleston, South Carolina. Did you get fooled?
No. In fact, we built into that agreement things that had not been built in the 787 deal that was done before I was governor. And they are not building a second line for the 777. So no. We made a decision about jobs. I'm all about jobs, and I come from surrounded by Boeing families in my cousins and my best friends growing up. And I believe that these planes should be made here. We have the best workers in the world on this. To go elsewhere did not make sense. And if it did make sense, the thing that is most disappointing to me is that the company did not give us any way to consider bringing them back when market conditions improve. Look, I can read. I know that the market has been down for airplanes, but this market is going to come back. And when it comes back, the Boeing company needs to treat taxpayers fairly. So we need to look at their tax breaks, to act in a responsible way so that they have an incentive to bring these jobs back and make sure the next airplane is made here as well. I believe that should happen, both because it's the best place to make airplanes, according to the Teal Group, and it's a fair treatment of Washington citizens, and I think we should ask for that.
Loren CULP, you've talked about your construction and Western Washington ties. You also know that a lot of these jobs tied to Boeing are in King, Pierce, and Snohomish counties. You are from the east side of the state. What would you do to keep those jobs in Western Washington?
Okay, well, as far as being from the eastern side of the state, I lived most of my life actually on the western side. Jay Inslee is also from the east side. I don't. You guys keep trying to pigeonhole me like it's a negative. I love this entire state, north, south, east, west. But the problem in this state right now is the governor has lost touch with reality. He's been working in government for decades. He has no clue what's going on in the real world. He's never built a business from the ground up. I have. I started my business with one single employee and an old truck that I had bought from my grandpa on payments. I had a homemade single axle trailer. That's how I started my construction business, and I built that up over 20 years, where I had multiple trucks and crews doing jobs all around Puget Sound. This governor has no clue what it's like in the real world. This is not a business-friendly state. It has not been a business-friendly state for a long time, and he has exacerbated that by his mandates, extra regulations, and higher taxes. This is a governor who promised 8 years ago that he would not raise taxes, and he has lied to us 33 times. The state budget has almost doubled under his tenure. And when I'm governor, this will be a business-friendly state. Businesses like Boeing will want to come here and stay here.
Governor, I want to give you a chance at a rebuttal, and also I want to ask you about a comment that you made by publicly threatening Boeing with taking a hard look at those tax breaks. Aren't you playing with fire here?
No, we're playing with common sense, which is the citizens of this state should be treated fairly. And that means as Boeing's futures improve, which they will, we want them to be inspired and incentivized to come build planes here. And this is one way to do it. And if we give them an incentive, they might think twice about leaving more jobs. And that's a fair thing. This business thing is interesting. You know, we had the highest rate of GDP growth a year or two ago under my stewardship. Our state has been named the best place to do business by Business Insider and CNBC. It has been named the best place to live, and that's why people are moving here like crazy. People are coming from all over here. If this is such a terrible business place, why do these businesses keep coming here and growing? This is a growth-oriented state. It is going to grow again when we defeat this COVID pandemic.
Governor, I need to cut you off on time there, and Chief CULP, I want to give you a chance at a rebuttal. You know, there aren't a lot of large global aerospace firms that are in Republic and Ferry County. What makes you think you're better equipped to deal with a company that size, given your background?
Well, the thing is, this current governor thinks he's a leader of everyone. He thinks he's the leader of companies. He thinks he's the leader of our families. He thinks he's the leader of our children and our businesses. That's exactly the opposite that's true. The governor is not the leader of the citizens' lives or their businesses or their families. The governor's job is to run the executive branch of the state government and keep it within the confines of the Constitution, which is the rule of law. He raised his right hand and swore an oath that I will uphold and defend the Constitution of the state of Washington, and he's failing. Article 1, Section 7 says that no citizen shall be disturbed in their private affairs. I think we've been disturbed in our private affairs quite a bit by this governor.